Hi students, welcome to our virtual classroom. As always, today we will need the science book, notebook, paper, and your pen or highlighter. Let's get started.
Welcome everyone, let's get started. Today we are going to speak about the locomotion. As I told you, let's go to our books. We will focus in this page, locomotion. Exactly in the page number 38, as you can see right here. Page 38, locomotion. Okay, students, today we are going to speak about the movement in animals. As well, we are going to speak a little bit about plants. Here, you can see that locomotion is part of the adaptation of animals to the environment. In your book, you will see two questions in this side. Number one, what are the specialized organs for locomotion? And why are organs for locomotion different from each other? I already have an answer here, but I want you to answer it with your own words. Alright, now I'm going to speak a little bit using a slideshow. Locomotion and movement. Well, we will have basically a review about the locomotion movement in animals, land animals, flying animals, and we're going to speak a little bit about the sea animals. Now, what is locomotion in a basic definition? Well, it means movement or the ability to move from one place to another. Movement is an act of moving from one place to another, but there is a difference between locomotion and movement. Locomotion is when you transfer or move from one determined area to another, and movement is just the simple action of moving even if you are not transferring to another place. That's the difference that we can find in some plants. Let's compare something with a simple thing. The human have locomotion and movement. Movement because the internal organs are moving all day long, digestive system, respiratory system, our mouth, the excretory system, all our internal organs are moving. They are not moving from one place to another. They still inside our body, but they are moving. What they don't have is locomotion, and that's what we can do using our legs and feet. Locomotion gives us the opportunity from transferring from one space to another. The plants have this characteristic. The plants have movement. What they don't have is locomotion. For which reason? Because most of the plants have roots and they attach to a determined area and they stay there in the land. There are some specific examples of plants that move from one place to another, but they don't move by their own desire. They move because the wind is helping in that moment. Or some of them, like the Venus flytrap, moves when it catches a fly, but it's more a reaction than a movement. Well, why do animals need to do locomotion? Animals need to do locomotion because they need to search for food and water and shelter. This is a big difference. Plants don't need to search for food, water, or shelter because they get it from the land. They get food from themselves because they are autotrophs. They produce their own food by using the sunlight. They extract water from land by using the roots. And they don't need shelter because they are their own shelters. Number two, animals need the locomotion to escape from danger. For example, a lion trying to catch a deer, the deer is going to escape from the lion. Number three, avoid unfavorable condition. For example, the migration. If we see ducks, sometimes they start to fly to the north or south according the season in the place they are living in that moment, to avoid moments that are really bad for them. Another example are the flamingos. Some flamingos migrate from one country to another just for hatching and having their babies. In number 4, locomotion is necessary for reproduce or to find a mate. As we can see an example, the lions need to search for a lioness for reproduction, and they won't be able to do it if they stay just standing in one place. They need to move, run, and sometimes fight for territories. Movement in animals. Well, there are differences in movement according to the animals. We are not going to read the whole slideshow, but we will focus right here. Most animals have this kind of locomotion. Observe. Locomotion examples: run, crawl, swim, fly with aid of limbs. Now, the animals that run, for example, are lions, dogs, wolves. Animals that crawl, the snake, some kind of lizards. Animals who swim, the fish, the shark. Animals that can fly, hummingbird, eagle, etc. Now, we can see that they move because they have muscles attached to the skulls or bones. Well, they work together. Muscles and bones work together. The bones in the skeleton provide the support, and the muscles provide the contraction, and this contraction helps in the movement. Not all animals need limbs to move quickly. For example, the snakes don't need limbs to move really fast. The snakes are faster than you think. For example, snakes are limbless. A snake moves by forming its body into a zigzag, ripping the ground with its undersides and pushing itself forward. The fastest snake, the black mamba, can reach over 30 kilometers per hour. Imagine trying to escape of this snake. You will need a motorcycle. Another animal, like the flatworms, often move by undulating in continuous ripple. So, as you can see, not all the animals need limbs like legs or arms to move. Some of them are limbless, and even with that, they have a good movement. Let's see examples. Well, this is a hummingbird. And tell me, have you ever seen hummingbirds or small birds flying? They move their wings really fast, and that is a great characteristic from them. Well, the organs of locomotion in microorganisms. It's important to know that microorganisms move. For example, the eugenias, the bacteria, they have different ways to move. Some bacteria have flagellas or cilia. What are they? Well, flagellums are like a whip kind of cable. It's like an appendix that it's moving and sticks out of the body, helping the organism to move through water. Now, the cilia, it's located in the outer surface of the cell. Some organisms like the paramecium is covered with many hundreds of tiny hair-like structures. Those are called cilia. We're going to see example pictures to find the difference between the flagella and the cilia. Basically, flagella is only one whip, and cilia are small whips around the whole body of the organism. Now, the pseudopodia, it's a formation or false legs. They could be in any direction and leads movement of the animal in that direction. Movement due to pseudopodia is known as amoeboid movement. Which animal can we find with this movement? The amoeba. Is when the organism moves some part of the body using it like legs, but they're not legs, using it that way to move. Well, this is an example of animals with cilia and animals with pseudopodia and another animal with flagellum. What is the difference between flagella and cilia? Well, this is the flagellum. If you see, it's only one. Look. And the cilia in a paramecium, for example, are a lot of them. Look, they are around the whole body. That is the difference. Now, in invertebrates, the locomotion is a little bit different. The organs of locomotion in the lower animals are varied, like wings, tube feet, muscular feet, and walking legs. They are some of the examples. Some invertebrates, like the roundworms or flatworms, squids, octopus, jellyfish, lack special organs of locomotion. Such land animals are propelled by muscular contractions. Aquatic animals swim by pumping water in and out of their body. I'm going to get out of this one to show you this another that speaks more about these aquatic animals and how they move in water. For example, the squids move by using a kind of a shot like jet propulsion of water, and they move really fast. The movements include walking on the ocean like the octopus, jet propulsion like the squid, and even flying above the ocean for brief periods. Movement in the water is amazing. The jet propulsion is achieved by taking in water through the collar located posteriorly to the head. If we see the picture, the squid has a space in this area. They extract water, fill inside, and then they expulse it by one shot. And they move by that movement like a jet. So this kind of locomotion is very effective and fast. It's useful to escape from different predators. As you can see, there is a space in this squid that is used for extracting water and then expulsing the water at a fast pace. This part is called fin. This is used to take a new direction depending in which direction the animal wants to move. Well, there are some flying squids. They have the capability of expulsing water at a really fast speed, so fast that they can fly for certain periods of time. Well, it's not flying, it's more like jumping. Well, and the other example of some invertebrates in the water are the octopus. They don't have the same system of the squids. They move by crawling in the ocean. The octopus have 8, 7, or sometimes more kind of legs that they use to crawl through the ocean. But when they need it, they can swim really fast. They use suction system in each one of their legs to take objects. So these animals are very versatile. Well, and what do you think about insects and arthropods? They have different kind of locomotion because they don't have backbones. They don't have something inside like we know in other vertebrate animals. They are invertebrates, so they only have an external armor and they move in a very amazing way. For example, let's see that their skeleton provides local control over movement. They use the appendages that we call it legs, but the correct way to call it is appendages. Some of them have 8, some of them have 4, some of them have more, depending. For example, the centipede has almost 100 appendages. They use it to struts and shock absorbers. When they are exploring new rough terrains, the humans may employ robots. And the robots have the same structure of the arthropod. Yeah, the humans are using the great design of the arthropods and most of insects that we know to use our machines. For example, the spider has a nice movement by using its 8 legs. Now, going back to the last slideshow, right here, we will finish speaking about the locomotion in vertebrates. There are 5 classes of vertebrates: the fish, amphibians, reptiles, birds, and mammals. The fish moves, as I told you, by using their tails and fins. The amphibians move by using their limbs, sometimes legs, And then we have the reptiles. Not all the reptiles have limbs. For example, the crocodile have limbs and the lizard. But then we have example of limbless animals like the snake. Then we have birds that they use their wings to fly by moving them really fast. And in the end, mammals like humans, whales, dolphins, bats, horses, mouse, and they move specifically by using their limbs. Now, the hippopotamus is an example of a mammal with a great and powerful use of their locomotion. This picture shows a hippopotamus that is moving by using its forelimbs, and look at this amazing mouth. We have more examples of mammals that they are very important in our environment because their locomotion help to be outside of the water. When we speak about evolution, we believe, according to the evolutionist theory, that mammals were the last ones appearing in the earth. Because basically at the beginning, everything, all the life started in the water, according to the evolutionist theory. Let's see a video example of how the elephants move in their environment and how important are the limbs for them. Remember that an elephant has not only legs, they have another important limbs here in their head. For example, the ears that they are using it sometimes to refresh their own blood. And the trunk is very important because they use it to take things and even in fights. As we can see in this 360 video, we can observe this amazing elephant. Wow. They really like to observe the new elements that are in their environment because they are very smart and intelligent creatures. They like to analyze if somebody could be dangerous or not. But well, as I can see, this trunk is amazing. I think that these animals that basically live in South Africa, they have beautiful and amazing structures. They are one of the most amazing mammals I've ever seen. They evolved from a long family of mammoths. The mammoths' difference is that they had four, but they are extinct. But the elephants are amazing. Look, they usually live in big groups taking care. Oh, look at this example of picture of a baby elephant. They look amazing. This is a kind of family of a lot of elephants. They are very social and they are considered as one of the most intelligent animals in nature. Wow. Look, they live in matriarchs because the mothers take care of most of the little babies. They are moving. The young males are in charge of taking care of all the group from attacks of different kind of predators. Wow. Let's see how they use their trunks. Amazing. They really love water and they need water a lot to feed this big body and to refresh it. Something interesting is that they can use the trunk as kind of snorkel to breathe when they are swimming. Some people think that they drink water through their trunks, but they actually use the trunk to suck water and then put that water in the mouth. Amazing. Oh, look, this is one of the favorite locations for elephants. They really need to refresh with mud. Why? Because they cannot sweat as we do. When we sweat, we refresh ourselves, but they don't have sweating cells. Wow. They are in a lot of dangers. There are a lot of hunters that usually yearly are trying to catch killing these beautiful animals. For which reason the hunters kill these animals? basically because their teeth are something that is extremely expensive in the world. Their kind of teeth are made of a material that it's used a lot to make jewels and is considered expensive and precious in a lot of countries around the world. So terrible that the hunters are damaging these animals. Well, that was an example of locomotion, and it's interesting to know that these animals are around us, and these moments are the moments that we can use to know that our nature is amazing. Maybe today we are at home, but in the future when we go outside again, remember that our nature is amazing. See you soon.
せーのでもそんなんじゃダメもうそんなんじゃ